My name is Julian, and in my family I have 3 children, Madison, Bailey and Kaiden, and my wife Brooke. Kaiden's personality is he is cheeky, friendly, outgoing 5-year-old boy. He's very stubborn and determined. Yeah, he's just an all-round happy little kid who wants to be the same as all the other kids. Kaiden's diagnosis is cerebral palsy ataxia, level 3. So he can walk with a walking frame. He's currently classed as non-verbal, but he can say quite a few words, and he's actually picking up a lot of words lately. And it wasn't until a couple of hours after Kaiden was born that they started noticing some vital signs weren't right, and yeah, ultimately turned out there was a big bleed on his brain at the back, so they had to do an operation to relieve the pressure, and yeah, we were told at the time it was not a very high likelihood that he would survive that operation. But we chose to go forward and he did survive it. When we got him home from the hospital, obviously the first few weeks, it was mainly his the floppiness of his neck and limbs. You know, he was a really floppy baby. We'd had 2 kids before, so we knew what babies were generally like. We were told that it's most likely a floppy neck from the tissue damage and that still healing. So yeah, it wasn't really till a few months later we started kind of Googling the symptoms ourselves, and pretty quickly put together the symptoms that we saw in Kaiden and realised that he had cerebral palsy. It was heartbreaking and I was devastated, but I didn't also know too much about cerebral palsy at all. Hooked up with the Cerebral Palsy Alliance. They just helped us, you know, explain everything about cerebral palsy, explain to us all the different types, you know, the type that Kaiden has. They helped put us on a path of somewhere to go, you know, something to go towards, something to work towards, the therapies and, you know, all these things that we had no idea about. So we basically would have been lost without the Cerebral Palsy Alliance and where to go and what to do next. Cerebral palsy research is very important to me and my family and to a lot of families. You know, these therapies and all that can take kids so far, but if we knew a bit more, if we knew, you know, other things, there's the limits that these kids could go so much further. So yeah, it's just such a good cause to get behind, and we just want to find out as much as we can about cerebral palsy for the future of these kids. My hopes and dreams for Kaiden are basically, I want him to live as normal life as possible, and I want him to be as independent as he potentially can be. I think his personality alone will make that happen. He is extremely stubborn and independent, and that's only going to help him, you know, overcome all these little things that stop him being, you know, being independent. But yeah, I think that's what I want for him mainly in life, is to be happy and as independent as he can be. Looking for any kind of charity or anyone to help like that, I think this is one of the best ones you could do. It's just going to help so many kids. You know, you're helping so many kids and their families get through tough times, and help these families get an idea of where to go, because it can be very confusing without a place like the Cerebral Palsy Alliance. So yeah, it would just be amazing if anyone could get behind this.
Thank you for helping kids like my brother Kaiden.